Divyanshu Ganatra lost his eyesight when he was 19, but the cognitive neuroscientist and disability rights advocate did not give up. He became India's first visually impaired solo paraglider. Divyanshu has also turned entrepreneur with his Adventures Beyond Barriers Foundation, a non-profit that promotes adventure sports for persons with or without disability. Here's his story.
I lost my sight at about 19 to glaucoma, and my first experience of being blind was the fact that I was the only blind person I knew that morning when I woke up. The other experience I can never forget is the fact that I was told that all I can now do is make cane furniture or chalk or become a telephone operator. I believed there was much more I could do, and I wasn't ready for the world to tell me what I can or cannot do. My name is Divyanshu Ganatra. I'm the country's first blind solo pilot. I fly non-powered aircrafts, essentially paragliders. I'm the first blind person to cycle from Manali to Khardungla. I'm a cognitive neuroscientist and an adventure buff. I've started two organizations, which is Yellow Brick Road, which primarily deals with corporates in leadership training. And the other organization is a not-for-profit called Adventures Beyond Barriers Foundation, where we promote adventure sports for persons with and without disability. I studied computers, I worked in the field of information technology. 6 years later, I decided to quit IT and I got into psychology and later into cognitive neuroscience. So when I decided to do computers or IT, I just didn't know how, and there were no screen readers back then. So that was something in the minds of the able-bodied, that how can somebody use a computer if you can't see? How can somebody study psychology and do experiments and work with patients if the person cannot see? For me, all I cared about was I believed and I was ready to fail. I spent enormous amount of energy just fighting these battles which are unnecessary. These are battles that don't stem from disability, they stem from the way we construct the world. It is the entrepreneurial attitude that I have which has really helped me a lot. I've been in adventure sports ever since I can remember, until the day I woke up blind. And then it was all taken away. I was told that you cannot do this anymore. This is not something blind people can do. I started focusing more attention in getting back to adventure sports. And then, of course, 2014, I became the country's first blind solo pilot. That was something that was a catalyst. I received congratulatory messages from all over the world, and people, what I realized that day was that the attitude or perception towards my community had not changed at all. And I realized that play is a great tool. This is a great way for people with and without disability to understand about each other, to build empathy, and to bring about social change. There is no other organization anywhere in the world. We're the only premier organization promoting cross-disability, inclusive adventure sports in essentially 5 verticals, where we go climb mountains, we trek, we do tandem cycling, which is again a great initiative for the blind, because the blind can now cycle alongside a sighted captain. It's scuba diving, marathons, and we have paragliding. We have models where when corporates come and engage and play with us, they pay for the experience that their employees go back with. That's a channel. Able-bodied people pay for their experience. That's a monetary channel. So we have multiple channels of revenue. Our team is made up of really, really competent people who have been trained to handle disability as well as persons without disability. More than the sport, it's the experience that we promote. Come participate with us, come play with us, and come experience it yourself alongside and go back and make this world better.